Number two, the second new rule that you need to understand is that there are no perfect people, only raw materials. There are no perfect people, only raw materials. There are no perfect people, only raw materials. Most of the time, we are looking for Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect. Nobody is perfect. Are you ready for this? You are not better than me. I'm not better than you. We are better than what we used to be. Nobody is perfect. You are not looking for Mr. Perfect. You are looking for someone that is perfect for you. Nobody is perfect. And let me give you a definition. Let me give you the definition of marriage. Not a definition, the definition. If you disagree with this definition, don't worry. You will agree later. Marriage is a covenant commitment. Marriage is a covenant commitment to love an imperfect person unconditionally for the rest of your life. Marriage is a covenant commitment to love an imperfect person unconditionally for the rest of your life. You are not perfect. The person you are going to get married to is not perfect, and they will not be perfect in this part of eternity. We are all going to be moving towards perfection. So God will not give you a finished product. He will give you a raw material. With the raw material, you now create what you want. And that is why if any relationship is going to survive, it takes two. It takes time. It takes trouble. It takes two. Two people must agree that this marriage will work. Number two, it takes time. With time, you will come to a place where you understand yourself, and what used to cause issue will no more cause issue. And then it takes trouble. When trouble comes, we now go into disagreements. Inside disagreement, there is agreement. If we discuss, we agree. If we don't discuss, we will disagree. Inside that problem, there is solution. So when trouble comes, I didn't know. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know about that. Oh, now I know. And then you move on. So you need to understand that God does not give you perfect people. He gives you raw materials. Oh, I want a man that can drive. What does it take to drive? You may marry him without being able to drive, but the ability to drive is inside. That's the raw material. I need a woman that can cook. You may marry her, she's not able to cook, but what does it take to cook? The ability to cook is inside. So most of the time, you now find out that when you come into a relationship with someone, there are things that you're going to begin to discover about them that will now make you to realize that, wow, I didn't know this. And then you discuss it, and then you help each other to become better. And then you become better with time. I'm going to be throwing a lot of things out. They're all in different books that I'm going to introduce to you. But you need to understand that in the stages of marriage, there are like 5 stages in marriage. And what you do in each of those stages will determine the outcome of that marriage. When you get married, the very first stage in marriage is what we call the honeymoon stage. It's the first phase that many people will come to experience. That's if there's really any honey left. Because some people have finished their life that there's nothing else. They have useless, they have done abortion before marriage, they have slept before marriage, they have done. So there's nothing to look forward to. They're just wasting money and gathering people to formalize their immorality. So, but if there's really honeymoon, the first stage is honeymoon. But guess what? While you are saying the euphoria, oh, finally we can do it legally. Oh, wow, I've been looking forward to this time. Oh, we can now stay together. By the time you are doing all that, the next thing that will begin to happen is number 2, realization stage. You begin to realize a lot of things that you've never seen before. You begin to realize that this lady is dirty. Because you have never seen the nakedness before. Now you can just see everything smelling and throwing all around. You begin to realize that this guy snores. And it's not ordinary one. Oh. It's a trailer type. Thank you. And you cover your head with pillow. After a while, now the snoring is like music to your ears. Because with time you are used to it. You even joke around with the snore now. But you didn't know that before. You get into the marriage and begin to realize that this guy is very, very stingy. You didn't know that because when he was getting married to you, he was generous. Because he was trying to want you. Now he has got you and he's telling you for what? A man will always go to the beach with this lady when they were cutting. They went to the beach once or twice, once a month or once every 2 months. They would go to the beach and the lady was so happy. The guy would buy gifts. Once they got married like this, bam, no beach. A few months later, they guess, come, we used to go to the beach. I was just doing it because I don't even like water. I don't even like water. So you realize that, you begin to realize a lot of things. That the guy is stingy. He measures the yam to know where we finish before he counts the meat in the pot. And he says he's budgeting. So that we'll know, okay, if two of us eat two meat per day, 2 times 2, 4 for the next 1 week, so this soup will take off. You'll be shocked. These are reality. I hope you know that pastors, lawyers, and doctors, what we know, many people don't know. So any story I tell you is not Tales by Moonlight, it's real life stories. These are things that we have seen in counseling room that will shock you. Even you as a pastor, you will not want to show your shock, because as trained counselor, we cannot show any emotion. So we'll just be there. In your mind, you're like, these people normal. I'm telling you, man of God, people will come for counseling. They have been married for 42 years. I remember a day a couple came to see me. They have been married for 42 years, and I was 39 years old. They have been married before I was born. And they were telling me, Daddy, So when I said that, I said, Lord Almighty, 42 years. When will this thing end? 42 years, they are still coming for counseling. 42 years. So those are the things that discourage the younger ones. Because many people don't believe in marriage anymore. Because they have seen so many terrible marriages that they are asking themselves, is it worth it? Because if 42 years of marriage, you are still coming for counseling. Me, I'm 39, and I'm supposed to solve your problem. So there are no perfect people, just raw materials. You get married to him and discover he's insecure. And he's checking your pulse, checking your phone. Who's that? Who called you? Who did you text? Who did you reply? And then you are wondering, hello? And he's telling you, I don't want to move with that person anymore. But you saw me with them. We've been friends before marriage. You met me among them. Now you want to remove me from them. And then you begin to realize. Now, listen. Once you enter into realization stage, that is where a lot of marriages get into trouble. Because what you do from that point can determine the problem. 2 options at that point. Option 1 is adaptation. Option 2 is avoidance. Option 1 is adaptation. Option 2 is avoidance. And that's where the separation begins. So you have people today that are roommates, but they are not soulmates. There are people today that are living in the same house, but they have gone. Listen to me. I've sat down with women that have told me clearly that I'm in this marriage because of my children. I'm talking born again, spirit-filled, tongue-talking churchgoers because of my children. So everything they are doing from that point is to set up the man to settle all of them, because they know they are going to live in 15 years' time. I'm telling you, a woman can set you up for 15 years, and you'll be sitting down thinking all is well. She will laugh with you, have sex with you, cook for you, but you are in prison. You are in trouble. 15 years later, by the time she removed the manifesto, you'll be shocked. You suddenly realize that you have been a prisoner for the past 17 years, that have been using you. And by the time they drop you, you go back to Nigeria. Many of the japa we are seeing now, a lot of men are in Nigeria, that the wives that they have married 35 years and 40 years ago are now doing omugo all over the world. 6 months in Canada, 6 months in London. The men that are back home, the men that use all their working life to finance everybody is back home. They will now look for one nurse to give to you, to nurse your life to hellfire. And you are just there at home now. Because men can't. Why do you think mother-in-law issue is a global issue? Men don't jump around. It's women that will be going from place to place to go and destroy the life of their children and the marriage of their children, because they want to live their life through their children now. And then they go there, and when they see their children taking care of their wife the way their own husband didn't take care of them, they are jealous. And they say the children are trying to control. You can't control my son. Jimo, your wife is eating too much. How can you buy that kind of thing for your wife? And you see women that look, many of you need to send your mother back to her husband's house so that she will not come and ruin your marriage. Hello, let her go and stay with her own husband. So are you hearing the stages now? Yes. So that stage is avoidance or adaptation. So when you follow the path of adaptation, you now sit down and begin to discuss. These things I have realized. Are there things that can change? Are there things that cannot change? The things that can change, we'll begin to discuss on how to change it. And we help each other to change. The things that cannot change, we'll begin to settle on how to flow with it. Because if it cannot change, it will be there forever. So listen to me, men of you, I don't like it. Look, there is no better marriage anywhere. Your own is the best marriage. The grass is not greener on the other side. It's synthetic fiber. If you water your garden, it will grow. Hello? So if you don't have what you love what you have. Because most of you, the foolishness that is the software running your life is that you think that there's something better on the other side. There is nobody that is perfect. Most of you, your wife has 80, but she doesn't have 20%. The side chick or side cock has 20%. You are not appreciating the 80 that you have. You are being enticed by the 20 you don't have. You now drop 80 to pursue 20. By the time you now pursue 20, you have forgotten that 20 that is shacking your brain is a side chick. It's not a full person. And by the time you now go for 20, you now see that there is no 80. You now want to look for 80 again. And it does not work like that. Hello? Because many of you don't get all these things. So I've sat down with men that have cheated. I've sat down with women that have cheated. I've sat down with, by October now, I'm celebrating 35 years in ministry. October 31st, November 1st, 2 days conference, 35 years in ministry. I've been around for a while. I've been in church for 38 years. So listen to me. I have seen church ruin people's life. I've seen religion mess up people's life. So when I'm talking from experience of my success, my failures, everything. So you better listen. Hello? So if you follow that path, what cannot change, cannot change. And I'm telling you, if you like, go for 100 days fasting. There are some things about your spouse that will never change. Never. You just know that that's your cross. You carry it. So don't be hoping they will change, because that hope will be dashed continually until you enter into paranoia. So don't even think they will change. Hello? Then there are things that can change. You work on changing it. If you follow the path of adaptation, the next thing that will happen is understanding. It's understanding. I spoke to someone. I said, how are you? So I'm going to come. I'm thinking of branching in 2 days. I said, alright, you cannot come. My friend, you can't come. Me and my wife had that argument now. Okay, so, and many times when we have argument like that, it takes 2 or 3 days for her to be normal. So if you come, you will be part of the trouble. So don't come. Adaptation is not understanding that this woman in this area, she's not normal. This man is not normal. There are people that have come to that understanding and they have been married for 40 years. And they will celebrate 35 years anniversary. They will do 40 years. They might even fight on the way to the anniversary. But they will still laugh and take picture. But you that are foolish, that don't know, you'll be saying, better not destroy yourself. There are pastors that argue to church in the car. They argue to come and preach to you. They argue. Don't tell me that. I want to get to church. Bless you. Bless you. And they say, we are not, after service, we'll continue. We'll continue after service. Because many of you don't realize that the gift and the calling of God is without repentance. They will use their gift to fulfill their assignments. The same way medical doctor will go to the surgery and do surgery successfully. Yet he's an addict to smoking and marijuana. But he's a successful surgeon. Hello? And he will have to be dealing with his addict after, yes, but that is a surgeon. You can't doubt that. So it doesn't mean he's no more a surgeon. So there are people that are on the pew that are bleeding. Hello? When the shepherds need shepherding. When the deliverer needs deliverance. Hello? So you need to have understanding. So when you go through that route of adaptation, the next thing is understanding. And once you have understanding, you are good to go. You are good to go. I spoke at a friend's 45 years wedding anniversary. I was a preacher. And I've known this guy for over 20 years. And I know that in that 45 years, the wife has left him 2 years. In that 45 years, the children has rebelled. And so, but everything has come full circle. Now everything is working as a grandfather. So as we're celebrating, I got there. I said, man of God, permission to talk. He said, no. I said, I know you, your mouth. That's why we love you. Say it, wait, let's help you. I said, so I said, how many of you would like to celebrate 45 years in marriage? I said, but I hope you know that inside these 45 years, I started giving them the ingredients. Inside these 45 years, there was molestation. Inside these 45 years, there was this. So now you are all here to celebrate and look at the beautiful cake and the beautiful wall. But we are here to celebrate because they stood through the process. Every time you are eating cake, there is flour inside. There is sugar inside. There's butter inside. There are all kinds of things inside. But independently, you can't eat those ingredients. You can't start eating sugar or eating butter or eating raw egg. But when everything is put together, they will not still become cake until they go through the furnace and go through the fire. So you need to understand that all through life, different things all come together to work together for good. If I've never had a problem, I'll never know that God could solve them. I will never know what faith in God could do. Many of you want success without examination. You want victory without a battle. Let me give you one more and I close. Then we'll go into money.